Hi, Emma.
Hi.
Hi, you're right. We are here today for my first ever Chats with Carly. And these are it's almost like a spin off of my podcast. It's just a little video series to go on YouTube. And it's all about life in lockdown, our well-being, our struggles, and just, you know what, it's just checking in and seeing how you are. So, yeah, this is Emma Cottom. Emma is a fellow Preston girl. Well, it's a lovely village called Freckleton, but people won't know that one. And Emma is the founder of Isabella and Us and the editor of the Positive Wellbeing Zine for Mums. So everyone's going to see me looking at that because I just want to make sure I'm getting that right. Oh, and we've got a guest as well, your cat. So yeah, how are you, Emma?
We're doing all right. We're doing all right. It's been pretty stressful week. I think we've hit that. What are we now? 6 weeks in. I think we've hit that kind of 6 week block. We'll go for that word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a tough week, but we are okay.
Yeah, that's it. Isn't it? 6 weeks. Wow. I don't know if it feels a long time or short. It's one of those, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't quite get my head around it. That about halfway through, possibly shorter.
Well, I feel like I was thinking this today. We went out for our daily walk. I'm not really sure I remember what life was like before this and how we did the stuff we did before. And to be honest, before lockdown, we weren't really finding time to go for walks. We weren't really finding time to do that sort of stuff. So it was nice to go out, and it's been nice to spend that time. But also, I've got no idea how we did all the stuff we were doing before.
No, the world certainly had to kind of slow down, hasn't it? So that's positive then. I suppose we'd say just chatting about how you're getting on. But that was the question I was going to ask: is sort of any learnings from lockdown? I guess that anything the positives that you're going to take forward, because as much as there are positives, there are a few negatives. But yeah, the positives, is that one of them? Do you think, just to slow down a little?
I think so. Yeah. I think it's been nice for us to spend a lot of more quality time. As a three, so me, my husband Chris, and our daughter Isabella. But also that comes with its difficulties as well, being together all the time.
Yeah.
But in terms of positives, for us for lockdown, so we bought a house. We completed the Friday before lockdown started.
Wow.
Our first house, which has been quite stressful, knowing that we currently have 2 houses to pay for. However, it's meant that I've been able to do lots of decorating at the weekend. So it was what we were planning to do before. So it's not like it was anything out of kind of the norm in terms of what we planned. But I've got a lot more done than I was hoping to. But we still aren't able to move in. So we have a house. We're not there.
You're not there. Oh.
No. So we have no internet. So we can't actually move in yet. So but yeah, that's for me has been a positive in terms of learning the skills to do that, because my dad would normally be there kind of like, so had this not been in lockdown, he would have been not helping me because he said he wouldn't, but probably observing me and telling me that I was doing it wrong.
Oh,
no. But he's actually only been able to video call me and tell me what to do. So I've painted all the walls in the house. Thankfully it's a bungalow, so there's no hall stairs and landing for me to do. Yeah, very, very glad of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's meant that actually apart from one wall, it's all been painted, which is good, and that feels good. So those skills, I never thought I'd be interested in painting or DIY, but it turns out that I am. So
who knew?
That's a positive. I know, who knew that would be me. But yeah, so that's a positive for us, and obviously the quality family time. But I think also another thing has been the fact that through social media and through Zoom and other channels, I've been able to speak to people who I hadn't spoken to for a while. So I've got some friends, although they live locally, we find it very difficult to meet up because we've all got young kids. So it's actually been nice to be able to just spend an hour just chatting on Zoom, just catching up, and other friends who I've not seen for ages. So that's been really nice and a real positive as well, that actually this situation has kind of forced us to have those conversations. I mean, obviously we had access to all this before,
yeah.
We just didn't use it. So that's been really nice to kind of be able to have those conversations and talk to people other than Chris and Isabella, and to be able to see them as well.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it, that before this, I think we took so much for granted. I think that's definitely something that's going to come out of this for me, for a lot of people. And yeah, I've never spoken to my family as much actually. Probably haven't by Zoom. It's crazy that my dad lives in Rugby near Birmingham. We probably meet up every 2 or 3 months really, and we don't chat that much in between. But we're having these weekly Zoom calls, and yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? I think that connection, even though we're obviously very isolated, have we ever been more connected? It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weird, and I think those connections are coming in other ways as well. I had a parcel drop through our new house's letterbox yesterday from a friend with a card, and basically it just said, I know you're having a really tough time right now, and I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to see you. When we can meet up again. And there was a little gift in there as well. So I think those kind of connections are coming in different ways as well.
Oh, that's so
Not
nice.
just, I know. So I was in nearly in tears.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really lovely. And I think those kind of connections in terms, and like just neighbours talking to each other, and I think it's definitely forced us to communicate more with those around us in different ways. When we went for a walk this morning, everyone was saying morning and hi, and which is really, really nice. And obviously you get some people who say that, but not as many as I find now, which is really, really lovely.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's just like it's opened up so many different things that we didn't do before. And I really hope, yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I really hope a lot of this continues. Or do you think when the world finally, will it ever go back to normal? That's the first question. But if it does kind of go back to a normal way of life, I just hope this lasts. Do you think it will?
Who knows what will happen. I hope that the positives from this, in terms of there being bigger awareness of mental health and the need for us to look after ourselves, and the need for maybe people to take things a little bit slower. Also the idea of flexible working and people being able to work from home and how that might work. Yeah. Also I think it sheds a lot of light on, in terms of the relationships, and how your relationships work, and how how important having those people that you can ask for help in terms of childcare or whatever. But I think those lines of communication, I really hope that they stay, in terms of talking to neighbours, and helping other people, going to buy shopping for your neighbour and all that sort of stuff. I hope that those things stay.
Yeah, me too. It's just that kindness that I think we're all just so self-obsessed is the wrong word, but I think we're all sort of so stuck in our own ways, weren't we? So busy, so much going on, that I just don't think we had time for other people, did we really?
I think our lives are so busy, and I'm not saying they're not busy now, because I feel like I'm busier than I was before, but I don't think we made time for those conversations and for that communication. It wasn't a priority, probably because we were just going from one thing to another thing, and then we had to do this and we had to make sure that was done, and we had to go to that shop and do that, when actually you don't have access to half that stuff now. Obviously some shops are starting to reopen, but still it's not what it was before. So yeah,
it's also weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very strange situation. And it's funny, is it communication, and I feel like we're getting all better at that communication, but I don't feel the same as me, Emma, but one of the first, I think, communications will be as soon as we can get outside help for childcare.
yeah I've already said to my mum and dad that they are having Isabella for a week, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that week.
I love it. It's a gift. That's what you can say to them.
It is a gift. You've not seen her, here you are, you can have her for a little bit.
yeah what will you do? I've seen a lot on social media about the first thing you'll do when lockdown ends. What do you think would be the first place you would go, or the first thing you would do?
I just want to move into my house. I think that would be the first thing, as soon as lockdown lifts, and basically we just need to be able to have access to my parents, and a removal truck, and then I am an internet, and then I am moving to the house. So that's
and I
am in that house. But yeah, I think for me that's really the thing that I want to do the most, is to move into the house. So that might seem a little bit selfish, that I'm not saying that I want to go and see so and so or do whatever, but I've waited for that house for 5 years, so It feels like a pretty big thing. But also I just really want to go and hug my friends, and my parents, And yeah, I just imagine loads of people like running towards each other, you know, hugging, or that, you know, and it kind of being that sort of, I hope that's the moment that's in my head anyway, that's how it will be.
I hope so. And you know, as you're saying that, I almost feel a bit emotional, because that's going to be like the pot of gold at the end of well, not at the end of the rainbow, but there's a rainbow, you know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
There's kind of stormy waters, and there's a rainbow there waiting for us, isn't there?
I really hope so.
Well, we'll stick with that. Well, thank you so much, and just good luck with your move. It's coming. It is nearly there.
I hope so.
Hang in there. And yeah, just take care, and I will speak to you very soon.
See you later.
Thanks, Emma. Bye.